Hello, and welcome to another tale pulled right from the heart of the Jakuls. As always, I'm your accurate host, Lothran, and I'm ever so pleased to be here. So let's dive right back into the depths of these tales. Go fetch a tasty meal, settle into a cozy chair, and pay mindful consideration to Grahlings Part 3, In the Reflection. I'm not sure what you're implying. Fildathwool set his hectap back down on the counter as he continued to flick through the missives of the day. I'm asking whether it's prudent to base our advancement protocols on what they invented in their world, no matter how real it seems to them, Hydrax asked of the others in the room, but in a snide enough manner to insinuate that there was extreme risk in what everyone had already voted upon. If you don't want to adhere to the new principles of advancement, then do not. Colgros kept typing away even as he received a stack of reports from one of his Grahlings during his comments. Oh, thank you, little one. He patted it on the head while inserting a reward directly into its mind without even skipping a beat on the data he was combing through. We should have observed the simulations ages ago. I've been doing as much of it as I can, Fildathwool commented. There's just always so much other work that requires my eyes to solve it properly. He pushed himself away from the streams of data. I must eat and rest. Anyone care to join me? No one replied to his question, so after a brief stretch, Fildathwool marched out of the zero ring. He walked and strolled toward the nearest cafeteria, letting his thoughts drift away from his focus. The flashing glare above the core dome, and an otherwise unblemished black night sky tugged him out of his reverie. Such a pity. Are you okay, sir? Someone else's growling tugged at Fildathwool's pant leg, worry written across his childlike features. A growling constructed by Fildathwool would carry itself with the intellect and body proportions of most early Vu. This was a decent effort in its own right, but not the sort of work Fildathwool would ever allow from his own hands. I'm all right, little one. I'm looking for a bit of food. I'm not very familiar with these rings. Sort of a lie, but the little ones always wanted to help him for some reason. Better to let them feel like they were than deny the absurdly cute little fellows the pleasure of the act. I can help. Follow me. The little red-scaled covered Growling grabbed Fildathwool's hand and led him to the food dispenser. We wait in line here. You just ate. You get no more. A Growling in an apron scowled at the one helping Fildathwool out. Not for me, for him. Oh, sorry. My mistake, sir. It rushed off to fetch a tray and a bowl. They always called him sir, and hurried to be of assistance, no matter which Vu had constructed them. It had been ages since Fildathwool had been the only source from converted Zer to fresh Vu disciples. What made the Growlings and hives respond to him so much better than everyone else, he wondered. Here you go, seat 154. Next! A Growling server waved them off with a broad, fang-filled smile, as it much more happily and dutifully got to its allotted tasks. His helper found the proper seat and pushed him into it. I have to go. I have maintenance work to finish. I'm sorry. The Growling frowned with more than a little glumness. Well, thank you for your assistance. I'm not sure how I would have managed without you. Fildathwool patted him on the head and waved a goodbye, only to find the Growlings to either side of him cozying up upon his arms. I like you. You feel nice. A confounding and confusing phrase Fildathwool had often heard but never fully understood from the Growlings. Are you okay, boss? Gigamaz asked, prying the little critters off of his Vu. He was one of Fildathwool's most recent sprawling conversions, still quite protective of his Vu when it came to foreign-born Growlings. I'm quite fine, I assure you, Gigamaz. You're welcome to stand guard if you desire it. I'd be honored to keep their grimy hands off of you, boss, but I have to go for a fitting at the armory. Gigamaz walked off, glaring at the Growlings, who had gone back to rubbing up against Fildathwool's sides, unperturbed. "Nice seeing you," Fildathwool called after with a light wave, pretty much ignoring the clingy behavior of the Growlings to either side of him. It was pretty much normal at this point. "It appears my server forgot to provide utensils." "No," a little Growling across from him chimed in. "The washer's busted. Our Vu is busy keeping the higher-ups comfy and warm and snug, as they should be. We have to make do till he finishes up. You look familiar. Do I know you?" I have one of those faces. All Growlings think I look familiar the first time they see me. The Growling smiled before scooping warm food into its mouth with its hand. Fildathwool withdrew a spoon from the inner pocket of his coat. "Ooh, spare spoons is a good idea. I'll have to mark that for my personal items," another Growling across the table remarked between mouthfuls. "Who, might I ask, is your Vu?" "We're not allowed to say," many of them replied in unison. Fildathwool pushed the tiniest tip of one toe into the shared space. "Milarath is our Vu," almost all of the Growlings shouted, and then clamped both hands, dirty or clean, over their mouths that had betrayed them. "Relax," he instructed them, and all of the Growlings calmed down instantly. "I will eat my meal. Ugh. Whatever that was. I will probably not eat this. We'll have to have a conversation shortly. I will have a chat with your Vu, this Milarath. See about improving this mess you've been eating, and making sure each of you gets exactly what you require in nutrition and flavor, as well as your basic functions seen to. I simply cannot abide by such wasteful behavior as he's presented each of you with." "You're not gonna hurt him, are you? I love Milarath. He reads our stories and helps us train. I don't ever want someone to hurt him." "By no means would I consider hurting Milarath." Fildathwool softened in tone and mannerisms. He'd forgotten how sensitive other Vu's Growlings were to the slightest alterations to his moods. "I will merely teach him how to perform those actions and many others so that he can care for you, for each of you, all the more." "That sounds wonderful." Several other Growlings nodded their heads as they went back to feeding the slop into their faces. "And so it is. Our time together has once more come to a close. I hope you enjoyed this story as much as I have. As always, I've been your meticulous host, Lothran, and this was Growlings Part 3, In the Reflection. Another tale right from the heart of the Jakuls. Korvoth, guide them back to the safety they know all too well.
"Yes, sir, Lothran. A pleasant greeting and a fond farewell to each and all. Please leave your comments, questions, and kindnesses down below. None of that awful, rude, or mean stuff, though. You keep that to yourself. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to help us learn, spread, and grow. And don't forget, we strongly implore each and every one of you to do your utmost to stay safe out there. Good night and good luck, everybody. You'll need it. Bye-bye. 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 I miss you. Bye-bye.